Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to the Crypto Report. I am Crypto Kip. It is Monday, and there are 2 days left, everybody. Just 2 days left before we have a very key event regarding tariffs come back into the equation here. We had a 90-day tariff pause, and there is a deadline coming up very quickly that you need to be aware of. We're going to discuss it in this live stream with you guys. We're doing live streams every weekday for you guys around 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. I'm cutting out my 10-minute intros because, guys, I think the people just frankly don't like that. I like the little countdown. Gave me a little more time to get ready, but you know what? Let's just get to it. Let's get back to it. Let's talk about crypto, guys. I'm sharing these streams right now on X. So if you guys want to share this with some other folks, you can check it out on X. Let's go ahead. I just reposted it on Crypto Kip Tweets, so check it out if you haven't done so already. Let's take the volume down a notch. Smash the like button on your way in. Hope everybody's doing great today, guys. Hope everybody's doing great. Shout out to Mr. Mare in the chat. Talking about something on Base Chain. Base Chain coming back into the conversation. Wow. Scott in the chat. Everybody's hopping in. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to those of you guys that are just joining us. Go ahead, if you're watching on X, repost it on YouTube. Go ahead and tap that like button. Let's share the screen. And here's how we do these things for those of you guys that don't already know it. We're going to do a little bit of news. We're going to talk about a lot of things. News, prices, what we're thinking right now, me and Blacksea, both of us, we're always in discussion about what's going on in the crypto space. Get a sip of water and get this show on the road. Okay. So today it's a decent Monday. The stock market, guys, has been cranking, right? If you haven't already seen it, the stock market recently was at 6,300 for the S&P 500. Stocks have been soaring. You had Nvidia that's been coming up a lot lately. Coinbase stocks still hanging in there quite well. Circle shares are doing quite well also. But we're having a little bit of a dip today for a few reasons, okay? One of the biggest reasons for the day is 2 days from now, big time deadline coming up, big deadline guy, okay? That's the president of the United States, America, you know what I mean? He came into this presidency as the pro-crypto president. We all know this by now. And there have been a lot of jokes, okay? A lot of jokes going on about how, he was supposed to be this Bitcoin president, except Bitcoin's done very badly since he's been in office because the tariffs, right? So keep in mind, Bitcoin hit 112K during this whole stretch of this presidency. We've also struggled to break through new highs, and we've had a lot of volatility to the downside from some news stories that have come out from this president. Tariffs are the biggest thing. Now, in 2 short days, there is a deadline coming up that is July 9th. Now, the headline here says, might be more like August 1st or even Labor Day. So it's supposed to be 2 days from now that the deadline comes into picture. But what we saw was there was supposed to be like tariff letters being sent out. Okay. But an array of parallel comments from the president on down. Okay, his folks have underlined to markets that this week is unlikely to provide finality on this president's trade agenda. That's because the president's talking about being largely done on July 9th. Trade talks appear to be primed to continue unabated in the weeks ahead as his team acknowledges that ambitious early plans to finalize a wide array of trade deals around the world by this week haven't panned out, okay? So, in other words, it's a soft deadline. 2 days from now was supposed to be the deadline. As we're approaching this still, I think people are getting spooked because you never know what the president's going to come out and who he's going to call out on July 9th, which was it was a hard deadline. Now it's a soft deadline. Trying to get these deals done, not 100% locked on these dates. Came out with a 90-day tariff pause in the first place. People were shocked by the tariff. I was shocked by the tariff pause. I think we were all shocked by the tariff pause because, when the president speaks, people pay attention, regardless if it's this president or presidents prior, when the head of one of the leading nations in the world, in the USA, comes out and says something, everybody's paying attention. And July 9th tariff deadline, there's, see the S&P coming down today. It's because of the anxiety over this July 9th deadline. But now we're talking about, August 1st. And we're also talking about this new injected uncertainty into global trade. This is breaking news 5 minutes ago. Trump says he's imposing 25% tariffs on Japan and South Korea. Boom. There you go. Trade deal's not going the way that he wanted with those countries. So he is coming out and opening his mouth and saying tariffs over here, tariffs over there, causing some volatility. So part of the reason the S&P 500 is coming down today is tariffs. Looking at Bitcoin, here's what's going on in these markets for the day. Smash a like on your way in. Subscribe to the channel. No 10-minute intro. I'm ixnaying, okay, the 10-minute intros. How's it going, West Texas? Crypto Keeper says he's late to today's lecture. You're not late. I'm early because we're just getting rid of the 10-minute intro. I think I don't know. I think people are sick of it. XRP at $2.33. Here's what I have to say about that. Just peeking at that really quick. It's a top trending coin right now. It is currently at resistance. I will not be surprised to see a rejection off of this level. We've seen it time and time again. No guarantees. Couldn't possibly predict exactly what comes next. But I will tell you, we have rejected off the $2.32, 30-something cent level quite a bit. We've seen it get as high as like $2.35 before it comes back down. Today, our daily candle is above this trend line. I wouldn't be surprised if this daily candle for XRP closes below this. We've been looking at this kind of wedge playing out. I've been talking about XRP a lot lately. There is a lot to talk about when it comes to XRP. We're not going to hone in too much on that today. We got some broader news to take care of. But Bitcoin dominance is actually coming down today, which is pretty surprising. As taking a look at what's going on. Bitcoin at 108. Let's refresh these, make sure these prices are ripe and fresh. As Bitcoin's below 110, Ethereum's above 2,500. I think that's the main reason you can see Bitcoin dominance coming down. Ethereum being above 2,500 is, dare I say, impressive? I don't know if that's impressive, but XRP is a little bit higher today. Ethereum's a little bit higher today. Solana's at 150. Bitcoin's calm to flat right now. Nothing breaking right now. Nothing crazy. There is breaking news that we need to talk about, but the charts aren't really breaking tremendously right now. A couple coins are up, couple coins are down. Nothing's up or down more than 7% right now. How is it going, Coin Baron? Been a member on this channel for 12 months. A spectacular YouTuber is Coin Baron. Check out his, if you're looking at our chat right now, click on Coin Baron's name, subscribe to his YouTube channel. You've been a member for a year. Glad you guys have your account back. Yeah. No comment on the last tagline there, but yeah. So it's been, it was tough. And there's been a lot of folks in the crypto space that have been having difficulties with their content in the crypto space on certain various platforms for this reason or that reason. And for a lack of specifics, man, don't get me on a rant, Coin Baron. Okay. It's dangerous. It's dangerous territory to get into. Instead, I'm staying optimistic. I'm staying positive. Okay. I don't know. My inner golem just came out. Okay. Because our YouTube channel is precious. It is. Okay. That was a little weird. Sorry. Having a little fun with it today. Gosh, I do love YouTubing. We love coming out with crypto news stories. And if you guys enjoy that, subscribe. We're trying to grow these live streams. Not a lot of people are tuning in to crypto content right now. A lot of views are down. Seems like XRP is hot. Everybody wants to look in and listen to XRP right now. And for good reason. There's a lot going on with XRP. But I want to talk about it all. I do. I want to talk about it all. Today, not a lot of liquidations over the weekend. The holiday, less liquidations. Not surprised. Everybody took their eyes off the charts. Everybody went and touched grass, touched fireworks, touched a pool. Okay. Enjoyed a little bit of a holiday weekend, but we're back at it strong. I was working hard this morning, back at it, working hard at work on crypto content as well. working on, getting my eyes back on these charts and seeing what comes next. Not going to be surprised to see a little bit of a long squeeze around some tariff volatility. There's always a chance that we boost up, guys. I'm waiting for the big explosion. I am a crypto bull. I am so bullish on crypto, Bitcoin specifically and especially, but altcoins as well. But we need the tariff conversation to go away, and we need those rate cuts. Well, the rate cuts are coming. Tariffs are still in big debate. So let's see what kind of liquidations we get this week. I wouldn't be surprised to see some longs squeezed. What is the president going to say around that July 9th deadline that's coming up in 2 days? Coin Baron says Bitcoin had its highest weekly close ever. So it's not that hard to be positive. It did have its highest weekly candle close ever. We love to see that. But what we really want to see is some of these silly headlines getting out of the way regarding tariffs. I'm sick of tariffs. I think a lot of people are sick of tariffs. This is supposed to be the bro crypto president. We're supposed to be at 200K already, right? I feel like a lot of people think that way. Here's something I did want to talk about. So, is it here? No. Is it here? Yeah. Okay. This was a post put out by Altcoin Daily saying altcoin season's coming. Okay. And you can see, engagement farming again. I think a lot of people do engagement farm with altcoin season. It does happen. But I also think that altcoin season will be coming at some point. I just can't tell you if it's this week or next month or right around September when the Fed actually starts cutting rates. Very hard to say. So what I'll continue to do is watch the Bitcoin dominance chart, continue to watch the technicals on some altcoins. Like Solana has this crazy cup and handle pattern that suggests like a $4,000 target, which is wild. Bitcoin's cup and handle pattern suggesting like a $230,000 Bitcoin. These are all real monthly candle cup and handle patterns that are playing out on some big time assets. But I want to talk a little bit about this path to altcoin season chart. Phase 1 Bitcoin. Flow of money moves into Bitcoin, causing price surges. We've already had this. Phase overlap. Money flows into Ethereum, but it struggles to keep up with Bitcoin. Ethereum goes back and forth, and Bitcoin starts outperforming it. We're in this. We've been in this. We saw a nice little altcoin season, an altcoin bump, and we've seen Ethereum go back and forth. We've seen that. Phase 2, Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin, and we hear talks of the flippening. That hasn't happened at all this cycle. I haven't seen anybody talking about the possibility of Ethereum flipping Bitcoin this cycle at all. I haven't seen it for a second. So phase 2 hasn't happened. And I'm going to argue that this chart is silly and pointless now because I do not believe that there is going to be a legitimate conversation around Ethereum outperforming Bitcoin. I think that Bitcoin is going to remain king for a very long time. In this bull cycle, if you still believe in these bull cycle, bear cycles, I think it's very unlikely that we see phase 2 even ever happen, okay? But part of phase 2 could happen, Ethereum outperforming Bitcoin. I think that happens at some point. I just don't think we're going to hear talks of the flippening. Phase overlap money is starting to trickle into large caps where we see large buy-ups happening. I think we saw that in November and December. So we've had a moment where Ethereum was outperforming Bitcoin. We had some altcoins start to trickle in November and December. I think we might have kind of seen what we will see of a phase 2. But you could argue that that's still ahead, or we had a partial phase 2. The real phase 2 is coming. Phase 3, large caps. Ethereum has been outperforming Bitcoin and large caps are going parabolic. Again, I think we've kind of seen that. But I think we're waiting for the really big move where Bitcoin dominance truly crashes and we see 10x, 20x plays across the board. We've seen, that's not every coin. There's no guarantees and anything. You got to do your research. Some coins are going to die off completely. Some coins will do great. Some coins will do relatively poorly compared to like Bitcoin or just in general. I think that some of them will, especially some of the mid to small caps. But the large caps generally, as we've seen it in history, tends to have a moment where they shine. We had a little flicker of it, but I don't think we had a real true phase 2 or phase 3 yet. I still think this is ahead. Regardless of market cap, some altcoins with strong fundamentals are having pumps. This is this phase overlap. And then Phase 4 alt season. This is the one that everybody's waiting for. Large caps have gone full vertical, and we're seeing full blow off tops. Mid caps, low caps, micro caps all tend to pump around the same time. Large caps have been outperforming Bitcoin and Ethereum. It seems that every coin is going parabolic regardless of fundamentals. Memes are everywhere. Everyone's super excited, and you feel the mania in the air. We have felt that already, which is why some people are actually believing the bull market's over. But I think we have a different cycle here, guys. I think it's just a really different time, and everybody needs to be paying attention to some of the trends that are going on in the space, okay? There's a lot of trends happening right now, and I think you need to be aware of the news, okay? So we've talked a little bit about this story from Altcoin Daily and this eye chart. I think that it's important to remember that that's what people believe. Remember that that's what we've seen in the past. And remember that though we've seen that a little bit, I don't think we've seen the true play out of this kind of bull cycle as laid out in that eye chart that I just shared with you guys. A couple other news stories that I wanted to get into today, okay? Let's do it. Crypto Keeper says, heard plenty of other tokens flipping Ethereum. Yeah, a lot of people like to talk about a lot of coins flipping Ethereum, like Solana, Sui, others. So that's very common. I'm not surprised to see that at all. Secret Service seizes $400 million in crypto cold wallet. This was a story that came out recently. Now, this is not something new, okay? What this is, though, is over the last decade. Over the last decade, Secret Service has seized $400 million in crypto. Now, this goes to that National Strategic Reserve for crypto, and this is the reason that I think you're not really going to see Bitcoin versus Ethereum become a real conversation where people actually are going to start believing that Ethereum is going to outperform, or not outperform, but I think it can outperform Bitcoin. I don't think it's going to flip Bitcoin. I don't think people are going to think about that because it's a different time. As we see the government seizing these cryptos, what they're doing is they're holding them for the long term, okay? We have a national strategic reserve where any of the crypto that we actually seize as a country, we're just going to hold it. We're going to hang on to it. We're going to, keep it on hand and hold it in the future because people believe, myself included, that Bitcoin can go a lot higher. We even saw very interesting story coming out where Elon Musk has split from the president. They've formed a new political party in America, the America Party. He's saying the American Party is formed to give you back your freedom. When it comes to bankrupting our country with waste and graft, we live in a one-party system, not a democracy. So he created the American Party. Why am I bringing this up? Well, because on top of it, a government leader, Renato Lima, what is this? Peru? I think Lima, Peru, right? Ooh, I think it's Peru. Blacksea posted this, you're not bullshitting up. Higher, right? Somebody asked Elon Musk, so will this America Party embrace Bitcoin? Elon says, fiat is hopeless. So yes. There you go. So you've got the current president who is very pro crypto. You have, and so that's, the Republican Party. You have the Democratic Party who is seemingly also very much edging towards a pro crypto time. Not everybody. And then you have this new America Party, which who knows if this is actually going to become relevant or not. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I'm very curious to see how that plays out. But another pro-crypto party. Everybody's pro-crypto these days. Governments alike. You have one government leader. I think this is a government leader. Asking to another, is this a government leader? Does somebody know who this guy is? I think he's a government leader. Anyway, Elon Musk responded, Bitcoin is going to be supported by this new U.S. government party. Okay. Bitcoin also is now a path to ownership. Now, we've heard stories like this where JP Morgan's going to allow you to, use it as a sign of like your net worth, where you're getting loans. Well, there's a lot more to this right now. Due to the rising cost of housing in America, many young people now think they might not ever be able to afford a new house, but don't worry. Bitcoin could change all that and make home ownership a reality. At the end of June, the U.S. Federal Housing Finance Agency issued a new directive instructing both Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac to count Bitcoin as an asset on single-family home mortgage applications. Previously, mortgage applicants had to convert any Bitcoin holdings to U.S. dollars if they wanted their crypto to count. Well, not anymore, focals pokals. Given Bitcoin's rapid price appreciation over the past decade, this move could end up being a real game changer. We're not seeing this about Ethereum. We're not seeing this about altcoins. We are seeing this about Bitcoin. And that's part of the problem with altcoin season right now. That's part of the problem with the chart that we just looked at where, Ethereum is supposed to be rumored to be flipping Bitcoin. I just don't think we're going to see that. Now, I do think we're going to see an altcoin pump, but this is very, very interesting news. Americans are struggling to buy homes. Mortgages are high. Prices are high. So now you can use your Bitcoin to buy your house. Isn't that pretty neat? But we still have some things to iron out to get the rates down, and I think tariffs is a big part of it, right? You've seen the Fed have some hesitancy in cutting the rates because they wanted to see how tariffs play out. Well, we have this deadline, again, on the thumbnail, I say in 2 days left. This deadline's coming out. Well, now it's kind of extended out, but we will see some announcements from the president, like the one we saw just as I was going live today. The president says he's imposing 25% tariffs on Japan and South Korea. That's not the best news. Here you go. The S&P 500 is now down almost 1% today. That's a pretty big move for the S&P. Granted, S&P has been pretty bullish because we are looking at potential Fed rate cuts. Bitcoin's been hanging out well above $100,000. But you got to keep an eye on the next few days. So subscribe to the channel, turn on a notification bell. I'm going to keep the news coming to you guys. Check out some of the affiliates in the link in the description down below if you want to take advantage of some of the volatility in these markets. We have some affiliates where you can do that in the comments. I pinned in the comment section for one of the exchanges out there. There are some others and some other opportunities for you guys if you want to check them out in the description of this video and continue to do your own due diligence and manage your risk accordingly. Be careful out there, guys. Crypto is volatile, but sure is fun. I like it a lot. And we keep talking about it for a reason because we think it's going to continue to grow. Government's going to hold on to this $400 million they seized in crypto. So this is one of the largest cold wallets out there, but there are some other large wallets as well. What we've got going on, obviously, is MicroStrategy announcing a $4.2 billion $STRD ATM to buy more Bitcoin. So they're going to be doing some more Bitcoin purchases. That's another whale that's been buying Bitcoin. And what we also have going on is a lot of fear recently over this whale. So let's talk a little bit about this $8.6 billion whale everybody was talking about last week. Now, we did have a story where I think somebody sold for $1 billion. They bought $15,000 worth of Bitcoin 14 years ago. It became like $1.2 billion over the last 14 years. Some of them sold off. Well, there's another $8.6 billion whale doing some transfers. I'm not sure if this is the same whale. Well, right now, there are no signs that this in particular large whale is going to be selling off, according to Arkham Intelligence, which is one of the biggest blockchain analyst companies out there. So they're looking closely at these whale transfers, and they're thinking it might be due to a wallet upgrade, just finding another way to protect their assets. That is a very big move to protect some assets. But hey, if you turn $15,000 into 1 point something billion, you're probably going to want to protect that. And if you got to upgrade your wallet, I think you're going to do it. So that would make sense to me. There you go. Juan says, Kip, not to be confused with Zach. No. Zach, no. See, Zach's good people. I like Zach a lot, but no, this is Crypto Kip and Blacksea. This is the Crypto Report, people. Zach's good people, though. We linked up with him at a crypto conference down in, where was that? Austin? We were in Austin, I think. Daryl Young in the chat, blessings, Kip. You joining the America Party or what? Kip for president. No thanks. I don't want to join any kind of nothing political, nothing. I hate politics. I like crypto. I don't know. I'm going to keep an eye on the America Party. I'll tell you, I do hate the two-party system. I've always hated the two-party system. I think politics is gross, but I wish there was like a no party. I wish there were just no parties and just like a couple good people with a couple good ideas, and you either get generally people support or you don't. But, two parties, it's like you either like this or we don't like you. And that's what it is. And now I'm sure even if the America Party is good or whatever, and if it does become good, it's still going to get politicized. Like, no doubt about it. Everything does. Politics always gets politicized. So there you go. Yeah, you can do a write-in candidate, but that's never worked. And I just wish it did, kind of. I wish the write-in candidates did. You know what I mean? Thanks for tuning in, though, Juan. How's it going? Armin Clark talking about a list. Oh, boy. Yeah, I don't know. I saw a little bit about that list this morning. Scott's talking about a super cycle in the chat. Could be. And maybe this whale is getting ready for that super cycle. I don't think they're selling. It looks like they're not selling. It's possible. But, if Bitcoin, and I did a short on this that's coming out later tonight, at a price of $108,000, if there's a whale holding $8.6 billion worth of Bitcoin, and this whale believes that Bitcoin's going to go to $1 million, like I think a lot of people do. Why wouldn't you hold your $8 billion and turn it into 80 billion? Or maybe you sell 1 billion, which maybe this guy did do. Now you're a billionaire and nothing matters anymore. And then you just hold on to the other 7 billion and then you turn it into 70 billion. At the same time, you could sell the 8.6 billion and just forget about everything. You just go live buy 10 islands and go live on them. Buy 7 islands and live on a different island every day of the week. How about that? Got $8.6 billion. Unbelievable amounts of money. Chump change, really, truly chump change. But no, Arkham is doing a lot of updates on this whale. So there's no indications that the whale is selling. CZ is saying he got in too late after the whale move. Okay, so prominent Bitcoiner Plan B revealed that he converted all of his Bitcoin holdings to spot Bitcoin ETFs. Not having to hassle with keys gives me peace of mind. I guess I'm not a max anymore, says Plan B. Isn't that unbelievable? But that was back in February 15th, so that's a little bit of an old story. And you see Connor Grogan, Coinbase's head of product, saying that there's a slight chance that a hack caused the $8.6 billion Bitcoin transfer, and if so, it could be the largest robbery ever. That's a very bold claim from that Coinbase head of product. Imagine if that's the case. If an $8.6 billion hack occurred, that would be legendary and terrifying, because likely they're probably going to dump that Bitcoin if it was a hack. So we're going to see. Again, if you guys do want to do some trading, you could check out some of the affiliates in the link down below, like this right here. One of the exchanges that we like to use. Continue to do your due diligence, but they've got trading contests and all that you can check out if you want to do so. It's pinned in the comments section for you, actually, and in the description of the video. We do have some other positive news going out, and that analysis. Got it. Figured that word out. Great. SEC's guidance is the first step towards rules governing crypto ETFs. Breaking news, everybody. You know what? Keep that in the fridge for me for now. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Mr. Crypto Kip was bringing me some leftover sushi from yesterday. We got a little bit of time, so I want to keep it nice and cool. You know what I mean? That was very nice of her. My lady's always looking out for me. And maybe the SEC is looking out for you. US SEC's guidance is first step towards rules governing crypto ETFs. Let's look at this a little bit. New US Securities and Exchange Commission guidance on disclosure requirements for exchange traded products tied to cryptocurrencies marked the first step towards approval of dozens of applications for ETFs linked to everything from Solana and XRP to the president's meme coin. Could you imagine that? The guidance issued last Tuesday signaled dramatic shift. We saw this story, but it was pushed back a little bit. And so we've got this very positive news coming, still lingering out there. More hope. Again, S&P 500 is down a little bit. Why? Tariff fears. And on top of the tariff fears we got going on right now, the president is threatening an additional, oh gosh, oh no, why? 10% tariff on any country aligning themselves with the anti-American policies of BRICS. There will be no exemptions to this policy. Very large hands. There you go. So kind of interesting. This is a very interesting story to me. And just another example of how the president can cause volatility in these markets by breathing the wrong direction. He's breathed on BRICS and just more threats of tariffs. He's just trying to get what he wants, right? He's trying to get things done, and he's throwing threats out there. He can just threaten tariffs if he wants to. I didn't like the way you looked at me. That's a 10% tariff. You're not wearing a suit into the White House. That's a 20% tariff for you, my friend. Because you're not so friendly, not too friendly at all. I like you. You're a good friend, but you're not a great friend. 5% tariff. Be a better friend, or I'll tariff you. That's kind of what's going on right now. So, isn't that wild? Isn't that a wild thing? I mean, I think he's legally allowed to do it, so he's doing it. President also says the new trade deals have been made, but he's going to rise those tariffs. August 1st is the new deadline. So, there you go. There you go. Glad you like the Trump impersonations, Daryl. Appreciate it. There you go. Juan says one day, far, far away, $1 billion will not be much. With the deflation of fiat, it's only a matter of time. Think about that. And what will Bitcoin be worth then? Maybe $1 gazillion. I think, I believe in the $1 million Bitcoin dream. I think it's happening. I don't know. I'm not a financial advisor. You guys know that. Do your own research. We've communicated that clearly. Deadlines do keep shifting with Trump. Kind of like his answer. We're going to do tariffs. We're going to push them. We're going to pull them. We're going to move them out, bring them back, push them out again. It's what they do. When they're making deals, I guess. I don't know. This is, people say, oh, he's a flip-flopper. He's not set. He's all talk, no follow through. Well, ask Iran. Does he have follow through? Very interesting presidency so far. Very interesting how it's impacting these crypto markets. It's a very real thing. Kind of wild, eh? Kind of a wild time, laddie. Yes, right. Okay, gosh, just feeling weird today. I was sick last week. It was brutal. And I'm feeling better, but man, I just can't get rid of the cough and the sniffles. I'll tell you what. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Let's look at some charts. He barks and he does bite. He definitely does both. You ain't wrong about that, my brother. Okay, Bitcoin dominance. I know you wanted to crash. Me too. Looking at 73% still. I got nothing except for a 73% potential resistance. Maybe a little bit of a dip there. Bitcoin's back down to 107. We're falling right now. Finding rejection there. I told you about XRP at the beginning of this stream. Probably finding a rejection off 233. I can't tell you for sure what happens, but that's something I think can happen. I wouldn't be surprised if this daily candle came back down below this trend line. So we're going to keep an eye on that. It might happen. We're going to keep an eye on that. That might happen. Crowcoin struggling as well. Dogecoin taking a peek at this. Still testing on the blue ski line. Could come down to this lower range if Bitcoin slips lower. I don't know if we're going to see that. Arthur Hayes predicting a 90K Bitcoin. Could we see it? We could. Tariffs would be a catalyst to do it. But again, rate cuts are going the right direction. We'd like to see that. Pepe dancing on this blue trend line I've got drawn out as well. You like to see it. Holding up. You want to see the coins hold up. I want to see an altcoin season. I don't really like that chart that I showed you at the beginning. The phases of the cycle are changing. Everything's different. Bitcoin's different. There's a national strategic reserve. There's so many things that have changed. Plan B converted his Bitcoin holdings into Bitcoin ETFs. That's unbelievable. Here comes the dip. How far? Well, let's take a peek at Bitcoin and get an idea. First stop 105, probably somewhere around here. 105, maybe touching into the 104s. If we break down below this 105, 104 range, I think we're slipping back down to 99 again. Maybe a little wick ski down there. And Arthur Hayes believes 90K. Hey, if 90K Bitcoin happens, I'm gonna party about it. I'm gonna celebrate. I'm gonna celebrate. You know, I'm gonna buy some more Bitcoin, man. I'd love it. I love it. I welcome it. I want Bitcoin to surge. I want crypto to surge. But if we get dips, I'll celebrate with some purchases, man. That's what I'll do. That's what I'm gonna do. That's my moves. Simple move. The easiest thing you can ever do in crypto is just buy Bitcoin and walk away. Come back again and buy some more Bitcoin. But we are seeing, and there's no guarantees in this crypto market, but we have seen Bitcoin outperform the S&P 500 since it came out tremendously. A little bit of resistance happening for total market cap. Total market cap kind of slipping back down on the weekly, maybe. Our weekly last week ended a little bit green. Last week we were a little red, turned green. I don't know, guys. I don't know. We got to see what the president says. I just couldn't tell you. But what I can tell you is we're going to give you news updates on everything happening in this crypto space, day in, day out, every weekday on this channel. I got rid of my 10-minute intro because I think everybody was, I don't know. I feel bad for the folks that watch it later. But what I like about it is it gives folks a chance to come in and join the stream, because as the stream goes on a little bit longer, more people tend to hop in and, you know, I'm not going to talk at you for 2 hours. I think that the 2-hour streams are a little bit nutso unless you're in some mega trades and doing some of that. But I got a day job too, so I'm not really doing 2-hour streams. Can't do it. If you're watching on X, go ahead and repost the stream out. If you're watching on YouTube, tap that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel. Juan is talking about a 37-cent level, 0.3741. What's that? Is that how much Bitcoin you have? Oh, that's how much Bitcoin you might. Juan says my goal is to have a whole Bitcoin by the end of the year. Good luck, brother. I believe in you. I believe in you. Daryl says, how low would Bitcoin need to go for you to say the cycle is done? I don't know. If Bitcoin's below, like, if Bitcoin doesn't take a new high and we're below like 70K in like the last week of December, I'm not Zach. I'm not Zach. Hold on. You're killing me. Damn. Hold on. There you go. Now I've got a signature look. Okay. I've got a signature look. If we're seeing like Bitcoin below 70K and it's the end of 2025, we'll forget about it. Okay. Just forget about it. Now I need to like differentiate myself, Juan, and I've got glasses to do it. These are my Pitbull glasses. I think these are Pitbull glasses. So this is the new look. Every video from now on. No more 10-minute intro. What else are we going to do? I'm going to start juggling every stream as well. That way I really differentiated myself here. Gosh. Unbelievable. It's funny. I like that. I don't like wearing those glasses. All right. Put up some big signs saying not Zach. That's hilarious. Pro Trader looks, yeah. It's like the what is that? Tom Crown. He always wears glasses. I'm trying to debate whether I grow back the facial hair or not. I don't know. I'm enjoying the clean look. I went clean for I had some meetings. Just trying to crush some deals, right? Sell some insurance. That's what I do. Day jobs, insurance. But like, it's like, my Batman side is, I'm Crypto Kip. Okay, I'm pretty close to pulling everything out. Whoa. Crypto Keeper says I'm pretty close to pulling everything out, paying off debt, and call it good. Knowing my luck, though, wanted to do that. Everything will pump to the moon. I did pay off all my debt. Well, except for my house. But, going to be doing that at the end of the cycle. Thought about it, It's nice to have no debt, I'll tell you that. Certainly nice to have no debt, I'll tell you that. But hard to surrender your Bitcoin, you know what I mean? Hard to surrender your Bitcoin. I still think we got a lot of cycle left, but you guys got to invent your own ideas, right? You got to come up with your own thoughts and have conviction, right? And don't play on fear, but logic, And you could lay out some logic that's, we've already topped out, but I also look at the logic and say, well, we've just never had this much Bitcoin adoption. And even if we did top out, I think that there's still so much bright future ahead for crypto. Even if we do dip down to the dippity lows, then what accumulation zones we're going to have. Juan says, get a loan against your Bitcoin. A lot of people are doing that. I don't love doing that. I don't like putting my Bitcoin at risk, But you can do it. You can do it. It's easier and easier to do every day. All right, guys, that's all I got in this one. I'm going to get back to some work. A nice 40-minute stream, all content, no 10-minute intro, just just straight up content for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for tuning in. Keep an eye on the price of Bitcoin. Look out for like the $105,000, $104,000 price level. We could be getting a dip down there. Next up would be 100K over the next 2 days. Tariffs. Big part of the conversation. Keep an eye on it, guys. We'll keep the news coming to you. Until next time, smash a like, subscribe to the channel, DCA, HODL, do your own research, my friends. I got affiliate links for you in the description down below if you want to sign up, support the channel, take advantage of some of that in the description. You can do so. Got a lot going on down there for you. Have a great day, guys. Have a great week. I'll see you next time. Peace, y'all. See you, Coin Baron. See you, Juan. See you, Daryl. Later, guys.